Hello! Yes. Nothing, says Kangafango. There's the host from Kangafango there, right there. It's there. Right. I'm just starting up Unity in the background. Not really sure why I even switched over to this because there's not going to be any sound here probably. So, welcome. If you're watching this live or archived or with an account or without an account, welcome. Walls and ghosts is a fairly useless combination. Both can fade through both. Can they? Also, hi. Hello, Mr. W. Yes. I'm glad that you're here. Yep, it's right there. Hello, yes. It's just initializing package manager, I think it said. Importing. It'll just take a few seconds. Right. Actually, before I forget, okay. Right. It's just opening up in the background. Be there soon. Okay. Good. That is good. So, why the anime style? Hi, I wonder. They could have done a normal human for it. To anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, the stream's title is Walls and Ghosts, What a Combination. Or a real human, I should say. There's Concha, which is that one, and this, which is the regular one. Latter one spelt or spelled? I don't think you actually meant a spelt. Hey guys. My bad. No worries. Probably a riff of konnichiwa, Japanese for hello. Probably. So, Unity is open. Here it is. You can already see some stuff that I've worked on. Let me just increase the size of this again so that you can see it. Is this a good size? Spelled and spelled can both be used, I think, for spelled. Sure. Oh, I see. Never knew that. Yeah, I think so too. For spelled, I mean, little bigger maybe? Like that? Is that big enough? Nice size, red eyes. Spelded. Spelded. Little bigger. Yeah. Okay. 1 times question mark? 1 times question mark. I think that's still 1 question mark. That's decent. Proficient. Or rather, perfect. Right. Actually, what is that error about? Object reference. Oh no, that is the Unity editor stuff. That's okay. Especially in theater mode. Theater mode, yes. Right. So I've worked on a couple of things. Let's just show that. Why not? So, first thing you might notice is this strange box-looking structure ahead. However, let's look at this back here first. I've done a little bit of decorating to the memory shard dispenser. However, the actual thing I want to show is that if I equip the memory shard and I press E on it, it says pay with memory shard. If I press E, see, it drops 1 in. And there it is in there. And the position is slightly randomized so that sometimes it will hit the edge and bounce in. So that's good. Yes, and this is still the same. You can press E to sit down and then you can just look around. Yes. Right. Another thing is the spikes terrain tile. I've made the hills a little less tall, so that we won't run into any issues with spawning, and things will be able to walk up it more easily. It doesn't have the spikes on it yet. In fact, it doesn't even spawn yet, but I did change that a bit. Before I get to this, let's read chat. I don't really want chat to pile up again. I always use that when I'm watching streams. Also, today I found out that neko in Japanese is Japanese for cat. Ah, you're starting with the basics. Ooh, boxes and bricks. Shadows, also, I sent you a Discord message about the RP group. Right, I just saw it. I didn't have time to answer it yet. The RP group, that is the one that you and I were at before. That is that old group. Yes. We can talk about it later. And half melted and organ-like chocolate Santas. If you say so. Shadows, what's the slide/spiral staircase for going around the bin? Haha. It is decoration. Yes, but a neko in pop culture. Originally, although the translation is cat and nekos are most often depicted as those, the term neko can apparently mean any human with animal ears in the tail. I don't know, probably. I don't know. I think. Shadows, alright. I'll check it again. Oh yeah, misread it. That's okay. Yep, chat piling up is bad. One should never let chat get piled up with chat with enormous messages like this. Okay, so this box right here. You can see it's on a little hill. And it is a box. And you can go inside it. It has a collider, so you can't walk through it, but you can walk into it. Chat mustn't get piled up with chat. Right, so I'll walk into it. You can see there is a way you can go around there. And if I go over here, then you can see there is a staircase here. If I go down the staircase, you can see if I look out there, there's nothing. There's just the skybox. But I can't walk up this yet. I need to add a collider there, like a slope collider, but I have to jump up it at this point. But if you go back, you can see that even on this side, the world is gone. And then you look up, and then you see that the world is actually up there. The world is actually up there. So you can see if I jump out that we were actually in this box down here, not the one up there. Yep. Woo woo woo. One of my OCs will probably be a neko. Oh, interesting. Shadows, is the box bigger on the inside? No, it's actually the exact same model. Oh, TARDIS box! I called it! Oh, right, it isn't. Mind melt. Is it? Wait. Oh, I did call it! No, it's not bigger on the inside. Whoa! Brain blows up. I'm falling! So basically what happens is, you can see I've got this box up here, and then below the ground I have an identical box. And there is a trigger in here. Let's see, where is it? Here, you can see this little green, this faint green box. That is a trigger. When the player walks into it, the player gets teleported into the box down below, but with the same offset that the player had here. So there won't be, you won't notice a jump. So basically it takes... when you touch the collider here, it takes, well, it subtracts the player position from the, actually no, the other way around. Actually, which way around is it? Yeah, it takes the player position and then subtracts the position of the entrance up here, and then it sets the player position to the position of the other box down below and then adds the offset back. So you won't notice a jump. So let me show you again. See? I go in here. At the moment, you can still see out there. If I go like this, then look back, you can see, I can still see out there. You can see? It's all the same. But if I go all the way to the side and then all the way back, you can see it's gone. Because we've teleported from up there down to here. And that is why, what the title of the stream is. Because if you remember, when I started working on this game, I said something about mazes. And this is the start of them. This is basically what the entrances will look like. This is, of course, very, very basic. But there will be some sort of structure on top. And then you can go in and go down some stairs, and then you'll be in an underground system of randomly connected rooms, which is the maze. Yes. So, yeah, so walls and ghosts. Right, let me rechat and then we'll get started actually doing something. Or did I? Oh, I didn't. There's a game very similar to that. I think it's Quantum something. Well, actually, a lot of games do stuff like this. Whether it is that you enter a building and then it loads a separate building that you teleport to. Mostly it's hidden away. It's sort of stuff that happens behind the stage. Some games expose that, like for example, Antichamber is a very famous one that uses these sort of tricks to make endless staircases or endless spirals or stuff like that. Yes, but it's used in many, many games, this sort of stuff. I see, Stanley Parable also does this, teleporting the player seamlessly. Very well as well. Yeah. First person, not really story, quite psychedelic. Much logic. Great. Shadows, will that box take you to the classic Ghostly Adventure levels from the previous versions? No, but something similar. I've arrived. Hello, Chris. Welcome. You have arrived. Terrifyingly dark and damp corridors. Maybe. Hello, arrived one. Hey, Chris. Kangafango, is that a reference to something? Yes, a reference to his previous 2 versions of Ghostly Adventure from years back. Yes, I did try to make this game a couple of times. Yes. Shadows, will the box get textured? Yeah, this is placeholder only. Antichamber, that was it. Yes. Yep. Ding, 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 ding. Hehe. Played quite a bit of that. Not completed though. Oh, he's a yes. Oh, he's a yes. A tease. Oh, he's a tease. Oh, okay then. Kangafango, from your question on Discord, no, it's the KNL trains. I mean, if that means something to you, then great. So, what are we going to work on today? Firstly, I want to have another teleporter on the other side here. So if you walk this way, you get teleported down below. If you walk this way, you get teleported back up. Which shouldn't be too difficult. So if I'll duplicate this one, let's see, this should be fine, I think. I think so. So in this script, I'll just have to swap around the mazes. So the current maze... Wait, no, this teleports you up. So... Actually, no, I don't need it down there. Never mind. Haha. I don't actually need it. I just need to duplicate it and move it to the other maze. Yes. So if I move it up here, then move it over here, this should be fine. Then I need to switch the mazes. So this maze, no, the other maze is that one. This maze entrance is that one. So now it should teleport the player back up. So yeah, the positioning obviously still needs to be fixed because there's at the moment the tree growing out of it, which isn't exactly what I want. Right, so I go in here, now you can see you can see this. I'll go over here. I've teleported. Actually, have I? That didn't work the first time, and that's worrying. I think those are too close a bit. Let's just move this one out a bit. And this one out just a bit as well. I need to make sure that the player basically doesn't see outside during a transition. No, this is fine. You can see move over here. Why doesn't it trigger that? Why doesn't it trigger that? That is strange. It did work, didn't it? Now it works. You see, I'm below the ground now. Then I go up here, go around this corner, and then I'm back outside. See, I'm out here. Go in, turn the corner. Below the ground. Go back up. And up again. Right. Why didn't that work the first time? Let's actually run it in windowed mode and see what exactly happens. Oh, that's... Or it needs to be up a bit further. Right, so the player comes in, walks through. Oh, this time it did teleport. That is odd. Let's try it again. Oh, now it works. Let's try it one. Let's just try it 2 more times. Ah, now it hasn't worked. Maybe it's too narrow. Maybe that's the issue. Okay, so there's the x-axis, so let's do it 0.2 meters instead. And this one as well, 0.2 meters. What I thought was happening before was that the player touched basically touched the teleporter to teleport them back up. Yeah, like that, you can see. That shouldn't be happening. Let's debug this. So if I go here, do a print test, I should theoretically only get 1 output, because the player should only touch one of the teleporters and then not the other one. Okay, this time it worked. I need to get it to not work, and then I'll see how many times that gets printed. This time it worked. Nope, still worked. Huh. That is strange. It only printed it once, but it hasn't teleported us, which is very strange. Okay, let's rename these. So I'll add the name into the thing, into the print statement, so that I'll know which one triggered. So plus transform dot name lowercase t. Top triggered, bottom triggered. That's what I wanted. Top triggered, but okay. Quite confusing. Top triggered, bottom triggered. You know what? I might just leave this test running in the background, and by that I mean leave the print statements in there and continue working with it. And when we next encounter it anyways, then I can look which one triggered. Because this is actually quite weird. Oh, top triggered, that should work. And it did. Yep. Actually, let's try it in full screen. Maybe it's a performance thing, a frame rate thing. That could be a case. Ah, you can see. Now it worked. Or rather, it didn't work. And you can see it did happen that way. Bottom got triggered twice? Yeah. Bottom got triggered twice. Bottom is this one. So we went up, and then for some reason this one got triggered again. I am unsure. I'll have to deal with that later. I'll leave the test code in for now. Let's read chat. Oh, thanks. I asked if the SP locos were available on the DLS. It's fine. Okay. Oh, hello, Slovak Eagle. How are you? Okay. Alright, those. Nice. I wish they were available on the DLS. They look so good, the oldest P steamers. No money gang. Hello. Slovak Eagle, thy hast been spotted better than being stripped. I'll mark thee. I agree. That doesn't sound very intimidating. Hey, watch it. We run things around here. Who are you? We're the No Money Gang, and we don't allow any strangers into here. Now scram. You're right. Nice one. No Money Gang, cause we can't afford trains payware stuff like third-party stuff and DLCs. Yeah, the thing is, third-party assets I don't use at all. I don't use payware assets as well, any of them, because I, most of the time, basically all of the time, I create my own routes and trains. So, because I want the majority of other people to play it, as many other people as possible, I don't want to use assets that they would need to pay money for to get, or to go to a third-party website to download. So I only use stuff that's built in or stuff on the DLS. Whoop. Yeah, I gotcha. I heard the Discord ping. Print hello world. Maybe. On stream? No, I think it was an Apple sound. Huh. I don't think there was one. Meaning? It's just a general alert if you attempt an action and it doesn't work. Was there one? I don't remember. Alright. Yep, that's a good idea. About you leaving the printers in place. Did he read chat? I am now. Not yet, but he is now. Exactly. Hello, Shadice. Hello. Twitch doesn't even want to load the stream for me. Aww. He will, but game dev tends to take a bit long here. Or rather, the photos reflecting off of here and hitting Shadice's eyes, yes. I guess I'm just gonna hang out and chat in the chat. Well, you're welcome. There he is! Yikes, sorry about that. Shadice, Mr. W said striped, not stripped. Oh right, striped. But both are true, I think. What are the whistles from Milwaukee Road 261? I don't know. So, but I have no clue. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. So the teleporting up and down works mostly. Right? So let's add the stair collider so that you can actually walk up the stairs without having to jump. So let's open up this. There we go. Let's add a new object. Although I could also, yeah, I think that's probably easier. I'll make a ramp here as part of this object, and then I'll separate it. Right, so I'm just doing this, then Control L to select all that's connected, and then separate that into a new object. Let's call this one stairs collider. Right, and let's get rid of solidify, which just basically gives it a bit more depth, or rather any depth. Now, which way around is that? Let's enable backface culling. Ah yes, the normals indeed are wrong. So let's select all of that and do flip normals. That should be the correct way around. And of course, I didn't account for the solidify thickness of the stairs. So I need to move the edge a little bit. Something like this should be good. Yes, that is good. Right. Oh, no, it's not good. There's a lip up there. I forgot the lip. Why can't I see it in here, I wonder? Oh, maybe if I switch to wireframe mode, I can see it. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, well, then I don't even need that bit. I can just move this up to here. Is that still good? Yeah, that looks okay. Let's just add this back in anyway. Yep, that looks good. Right, let's save this and export it as NFBX again, like this. And why isn't it? Actually, can I? Oh, right, because I've modified it. I see. Well, let's just revert it. Revert all. Did that work? No, it didn't add it. Okay, well, in that case, I'm just going to add the mesh collider back to these two objects to give the walls and the hill collision. And then I'll have to re-add it in. Oh, I know why it didn't. Because I didn't rename it. You probably already mentioned it in chat that I didn't rename it when I exported it. Because whenever you open it up, it forgets the name of the file. If you export it, if you change it. Ah, yes, now I can see it worked. Stairs collider. Yes, so with this one, let's give it a mesh collider. And so that you can't see this, I'm going to turn off the mesh renderer. So now it's invisible, it's only got a collider. And I'll do the same thing for the one up here, stairs collider, this one. I'll go add component, physics, mesh collider, turn off mesh renderer. Now if I go play, I should be able to walk up and down the stairs. And let's see what triggered. Top triggered. Well, that's strange because top... Why didn't it teleport? This is strange. You can see up here, it says test teleport top has triggered, which is the top one, which teleports the player down. The bottom one did not trigger, and yet the player did not teleport. That is strange. I'll have to look into that further later. So you can see if you don't teleport, then you're just on the ground like this, and it doesn't really look very good. But if I go up, go back over, there we go. Right now, if I go down, that works. Can I go back up? No, it's probably too steep. Yeah, it's too steep. Let me increase the player's angle. Character controller. Slope limit. Let's try 55 degrees. Yeah. Oh, and the brazier ring spawned here. That's nice. So you can go down, and you can go up. See, now you don't need to jump anymore. Just go there, and then climb these stairs. Oh, that looks creepy, doesn't it? I might actually use this as a thumbnail. I mean, we can call the stream right there. No, you can see now you can walk up and down this without issue. Oh, unless you walk along the walls for some reason. Yeah, because the walls aren't exactly completely 100% straight. That is an issue. But that is an issue I'll deal with later. Right. Let's read chat. Final boss fight in Sharadice's game, Sans. Don't think so. Oh god, no. Megalovania intensifies. Shadice, so will the stairs collider just be a box collider that's tilted by about 45 degrees? Nope. It's a... When you saw it, you know the answer. Don't think Toby Fox would be alright with that. The lip! Haha, exactly. Nope, we didn't mention it. Any secrets hidden in the code of the game? A bit, yeah. But that's basically just stuff I've started working on yet, but I'm not ready to share with you, so... yeah. Well, if he'd tell us, they wouldn't be secrets anymore, would they? If there were some... I didn't tell him to tell me what they were, just if they were existent. If they were existent. Yeah, true. Where? Ah, there. Wait, no! Get back there! Secrets! Queep! Queepy! Queepy! Yes. I expect something to peek out behind the corner. Haha. Yesh! Queepy! The white ghost from your previous ghostly venture was terrifying! Oh, well then I'll make sure to add it into this one. Right, so we've done that. You can now reliably walk up and down the stairs, if the floor isn't in the way. So next... Alright, I need to disable the hill here. Makes sense? Because I reverted it. Yay! Right, so next let's actually start working on a room that connects to this. So first I need to see how large, what the dimension of this. So this is 2 meters by 1, 2, 3. So 2 by 3 meters. The size of the door, roughly. So I'll start a new model. Actually, I need to... Well, yeah, let's do it like this. So let's call it... room... Let's do... Well... Okay, let's do a small one first. Well, let's do a large one first. Room large 1. Right, so now let's actually... well, it doesn't really matter because it's only the blend file. So let's... Oops, no, let's delete all of that. Delete. And I want a... guide to how big these rooms are. So I want there to be 3... Well, would 3 work? No, 3 wouldn't really work. Okay, there are going to be two sizes. There's going to be a large room size and a small room size. Large room is 1 square, basically. Small room is going to be that divided into 3 by 3, so 9 rooms in general. In total, so it'll be 3 in the top, 3 in the center, and 3 in the bottom. So it can be random if it's a 1 large room or split up. Maybe all of the corridor rooms would be... Actually, that might be a thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, I want to have an idea of how large this is. So if this is a large room, let's just say... Well, if I do times This is this, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, this is 2 by 2 meters. Well, 2 by 2 by 2 meters. So if I do, let's say, well, what is, well, 6 meters. I think 6 meters is good for a small room. Actually, no, how large should a small room be? So because if that is like 2 meters, so it's 3, 4, 5. I think 6 meters is good. So let's make the main room 20 meters by 20 meters. So that times 10. And then actually, is the, oh right, a plane. Right, this thing, I want the viewport display to be wireframe so that it's not in the way, and I'm going to move it down here someplace so that I'm not accidentally selecting it from up here. Right, so if this is the size of our large room, then that means that for the smaller rooms, the sizes are going to be like this. So the orange lines you can faintly see there. So this will be the size of each small room. Now let's read chat again. Chat again. Chat again. Let's read our chat again. Gets out notepad and pen. Get Charadise to bring back the second ghost. That's checked. Alright, get Charadise to bring back the second ghost. That's checked. Charadise, do you have any ideas how, or even if, these will connect to your other games? Not asking what they are, just if they are. Kango Fango. The answer is yes. I know whether they connect. The answer to that is yes. And 2, I also know some ways in which they will connect. The big ways in which they will connect. I already know that. 2. Okay. Didn't mean to send the 2. That is hilarious. Just, yeah, Mr. W says, not asking what they are, just if they are. Kango Fango. Kango Fango 2. Didn't mean to send the 2. Spacebar. Question mark. It's fine. The 2 above your message. Yeah, but why spacebar? Because I forgot it after the with the message. Didn't mean to send the 2. Oh, I see. I forgot the spacebar near the end there. Ah. Shadis, you know where that default cube went? You deleted. You know where the default cube... I know where it went. Right, so... Okay. Actually... Let's save this as a template. Right. So let's do micro room large. Actually no, let's do micro room empty or room. Let's do template. Template. There we go. And then let's duplicate it. Let's call it room large 1. And then let's open this blend file back up. Room large. Oh, you've got one. That's nice. Right. Now let's add. Well, let's just make a circle. Let's just make a circle. How many subdivisions would I like? That's a good question. I wanted to to add up in such a way that I... Oh, right, I see. Let's just do 33. Is that okay? No, 34? Okay, let's... Actually, no. Let's start with a cube. Why not? And let's enable backface culling so that I can see through faces that are the wrong way. And let's flip the faces around so that the faces point inwards. And then since this is a large room, let's ooh, not that big. Well, yes, actually that is the correct size for it. Let's fill out the entire space. No, let's make it a bit smaller. And then, if you remember, the starting doorway was... Actually, we could just have a transition piece. I sound like I'm at an art gallery. Working at an art gallery, sorry. Yeah, this is probably going to be a transition piece between the doorway of the entrance and... Why doesn't that work? Why doesn't that work? That's strange. Oh, it's for some reason not active. Anyway, yeah. So between the doorway of the entrance and the other rooms, because I may want the door sizes to be a bit different. But we'll see. This looks good enough. Which means that next I'll select these faces here. I do realize I need to change the height as well. So like this. Then let's extrude those, and let's scale them up. I do realize that this will mess things up a little bit, but that's okay, because I can deselect those and then just readjust the size here. So let's do it like this, and then for these two, let's adjust the size the same way that we did with the other one, only on the y-axis actually. So like this, right? And how tall is it? Actually, this needs to be on ground level, so that's good. Actually, that's not on the ground level. Why is that not on the ground level? That's strange. Let's move it down one more. There we go. And how tall was it? I think it was, did we say 3 meters tall? I think we said 3 meters tall. So let's do it. Let's do it 3 meters. Like this. And actually, yeah, well, let's leave it like this for now. Save. Export it as an FBX, and this time I won't forget to put the name in it. And actually, I may need to rename it. Yeah, I'll probably need to rename it. So here, this one needs to be not large, but let's do trans for transition. And this one as well, because that's the blend file. Okay, let's delete the blend one and the blend one of this one. So we have the room here. Good. Let's get rid of the rig because there's not going to have any animation. And now let's try to line this up. We don't need the plane at the bottom. I can just disable that. Right. So this way actually needs to be moved over as well. Yeah, sometimes the lighting is a bit a bit strange to work with. Actually, let's use the orthographic view. Why not? Which basically means you've got no perspective. It's all perfectly flat. And then let's just align this roughly to the other one, like this. Then actually, let's switch over to shaded wireframe, I believe is the one I want. And let's move this to this. Right, now let's go out of orthographic view mode, and you can see that it does line up. And I've made a mistake because I haven't deleted the faces. So there are actually still these faces at the end which cover up the doorway. So I'll need to get rid of those to open it up. Like this. Now I'll need to export it again. FBX. This one. Right, do that. And then here we go. Now let's see what it looks like. No, it doesn't have a collider. I need to give it a collider first, otherwise we'll fall right through it. No, I need to go to this one. Give this one physics mesh collider. There we go. Now let's see if it works. If we actually do get teleported down. So walk over here. And if we walk down here, you can see we're in a room. So it worked. We can collide with the walls, that's fine. The ceiling is a bit low, but that will change, don't worry. Am I happy with this size of doorway? I think that's a good sized doorway. Do you think that's a good size for a doorway? I'll just leave it like this in this creepy position for reading chat now. Shadows, you've missed some messages? Oh, sorry. Oh, right, I did. It's because chat jumped. Shadows, do you put multiple ways in which people could find out your universe is connected, or is it only a single inconspicuous thing? Well, in the games that are connected, if you go into, it's either in the credits or in the settings, probably in the settings menu, it will say this game, or in the tutorial sometimes. If somewhere where you can quite easily spot it, it will say this game is part of the shared universe, but is designed as a standalone experience and can be enjoyed as such. Just so that people know it's connected with the other ones, with some of the other ones, but not in a way that they feel they must play the other ones to get this game, because that's not true. Each game stands on its own. It's a standalone game that just happens to be connected to other games. My own games, by the way. Right. And there are a lot of ways in the game to find out that it is connected. It's usually not just one way. It's a lot of ways usually. Shadows, it's because I want to hit Shift 2 to tag someone, and then return to select who I'm tagging. If I press Shift a little too late, I'm just pressing 2 and sending that. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Haha. Right. You're probably gonna read them later. Yeah, 20 minutes later. Now is later. Shadows, will you also model a mantelpiece for this game? A mantelpiece? Do you mean like in the fireplace thing? Mantelpiece? Or what exactly do you mean by it? Isn't there the thing about by the fireplace, the mantelpiece? Or am I mistaking that for something else? Shadows, you didn't need to deselect them. You could left them selected and sized all of them down with individual origins. That is true. I could have done that. Instead of using median point on every single one of them. Yeah, you're right. But it's fine now. Does it really line up though? Does it really? Close enough. I think a little bigger doorway. That's good to know. If you're going for creepy and uncomfortable, yes. If you're going for lovely and comfy, nope. Wider would be better. That's not exactly what I meant. I meant references to the other and indicate connections, for example. It depends on the game. If there would logically be a connection to another game, then there will be one. If there is a plot point which would explain more of the overall shared universe, then there will be that there as well. Yes, there will be multiples. Shadows, also, here's my default cube message in case you didn't read it. You know where the default cube went that you deleted? I did already read it, yeah. Shadows, above the fireplace, yes. Well, if I have a fireplace, then there will likely be a mantelpiece. Oh, is that called a mantelpiece because you used to hang your Mantel, which is German for coat, mantel, on there to dry it? Is that why it's called a mantelpiece? That might be interesting. The little shelf thing, well, mantelpiece. So, in terms of the doorways. The thing is that I think the height is good. That is a bit... Well, I guess I could use this as a transition. So I may not need a transition piece. Which means I can rename it back. Quit that. Yeah, so if I put the transition piece into the actual entrance bit, then I won't need a transition room, which is going to make things a lot easier. So let's actually get the room, the door size correct, and then we can change it on the other piece. Right. Let's select... Well, I suppose I don't really need to select this one. Let's just do these ones first. So at the moment, they are 2 meters wide and 3 meters tall. Let's make them 3 meters wide. So that would mean they are like this. They're 3 meters wide and 3 meters tall. They're now rectangular. Well, square, actually. Oh, I've done that wrong. I need to also select these ones so that the lines line up. So like this. So like that. And then, I can just select box select. That should be fine. So like that. And then let's do the same on the y-axis. Go SY, hold control, and snap it, and then do it like that. Is that 3.5? Yes, that is 3.5. So let's see how that feels in game. Right, going over here. Of course this is too wide, but let's actually see what it feels like in game if you walk around. Going up here. Going down this way. Is this better as a size for the doors? Or I suppose doorways at this point. Is that better? I can put either doors or archways in here as separate models that maybe make it a bit narrower, but as a base, Let me read chat. Oh, well, mantelpiece. Oh, he's a genius. You mean because of the mantelpiece thing? Yes, yes, I am. Oh, well, thank you very much. Haha. What did it say? The horizontal shelf or hood above the fireplace. Mantle plus piece. Well, that's interesting. Would be nice if it lined up properly. Yeah, I'll change that later. Oh well, I guess. Yeah, I'll just leave it actually. Shall will these doorways also have doors in them? Because you keep referring to them as doors. Yes, most of them. I think I like the narrow ones. Maybe. I remember that the first Ghostly Venture did have doors, which disappeared upon touching them, revealing the next room. But the next version didn't have them. Yeah. Shadows. It's certainly peculiar. Do you want it to look roomy or not? Cramped or open? I think that I'm probably going to leave it like this. Because if I have the door, either doors or arches in here. So, okay. So for the maze, well, I say maze, it's more of a structure. In roleplay terms, you would probably call this a dungeon, even though it's not technically a dungeon. But this maze is going to be modular in every way possible. So which room size is chosen, what room preset is chosen, and then objects in the rooms will also be randomly chosen. So for the doors, or I also want that. So for example, I could have an archway, which is open, or I could have a single door, a single door object, or I could have a double door object. And if I only put an empty game object here, which then randomly chooses one of those, then if you get the same room, the exact same room, randomly generated, and the doors are all archways, then that is going to feel much more different than if they're actual doors. Or maybe those two are, okay, maybe this one and that one over there are archways, and this one is a double door. That's going to make it feel much more different, because that's going to feel more secure over there, but these ones are open. So I'm actually going to leave it like this, because if I put in a doorway, I can just put a little bit extra wall onto the door object. So this way I just have more space. So now it's time to change this model. So that, no, that's the FBX, did not mean to double click that. That is not what I wanted. No, open any file. We'll wait until it's open, then I'll, yeah, no, that's fine. I wanted this one, which means structure, yes. Actually, how does that work again? Right, so if I select these ones, these vertices, not that one back there, just like that, and do median point, then SX, is that, yeah, that's correct, SX, and then let's scale this up to be, well, 3 meters, is that correct? Let me just zoom in a bit. So this here, this one is the central point, correct? Yes. So let's do SX, and then do it like this. That's not exact for some reason. That's close enough. That doesn't look like it's actually has it. Yeah, it has. I'll need to undo that, unfortunately, because it has stretched. Actually, why is that? Oh, that is weird. Huh. Right, so I'll need to add another loop cut to both of the walls, actually, as well. So just so that it lines up still. Right, so this and this, SY0 to line them up. And, oh, are they? Huh, that worked surprisingly well. So now, if I select these ones, select these ones, is that? Those are multiples, I do not want the top ones, just the bottom ones. Now, if I scale this up, oh no, not like that, I need median point. There we go, now it lines up properly. Although there is a bit of a gap here, so let's just fill that in with a face. Let's fill that in with a face. Are these facing the right way? I'm not sure. Let's try flipping them. No, they were definitely facing the right way. So let's try it like this. Export. This one, FBX. There we go, now it's wider. So now if I go back in, you can see you walk down here and it opens up like this. And then there will also be a doorway or gateway here that you need to open to then go in here. And by the way, this little edge right here, this is only because of the solidify modifier. I'll get rid of that, don't worry, that's not gonna stay. Right, so this room generates here. So the way I'll probably do this is okay, so the object that is going to generate rooms is the rooms are going to generate in a grid of the large room. So this room generates here in the center, and then another room's width away in that direction and that direction and in that direction will generate another room. I'm going to make it flip a coin. Well, virtually, it's not really going to flip a coin, but it's going to choose a random number, and it's randomly going to choose between spawning another large room or spawning a small room. If it spawns a small room, then it's actually going to spawn an object, and that object will then spawn 9 small rooms. That's probably the easiest way of doing it. Quite easy to forget that if you walk into here and then down into here, that this isn't actually right below the ground. It's actually this far. Actually, no. It's actually this far below the ground if you look up there. It's quite easy to forget. Now, if I were making a more stylized game, then this would be the graphics done. I mean, this doesn't look that bad. If it's a stylized game like this, you've got the yellow light, you've got the different blocky shapes and grays and shadows. I mean, this doesn't look that bad. But it doesn't really fit with my aesthetic. So, right. I really like teleporting the player without them knowing it. And by the way, that is the reason for this curve here, because I could have, of course, made it so that the player goes up here and then goes straight down into the structure. But then, of course, the player would see, oh, there's the floor, because the ground here would intersect the stairs, and then it would disappear, and then the player would look up, you wouldn't see anything, and would walk up the stairs, and then the ground, the outside would appear. So we have to have something that breaks the line of sight, which, actually, if you play video games, 3D ones, and you get to an area where there is a deliberate S-curve or U-turn or something like that, something that blocks line of sight along a corridor or something like that, then in more cases than not, that is actually there because the game is loading and unloading different areas. And if you could see straight down the corridor, then you would be able to see things popping in and out. Like here, for example, you can see look out, and then I'm making you go around this bit where you can't see either of the ways, and it hasn't actually worked. It hasn't loaded. That is strange. You can see, but now it's worked. I'll need to fix that bug. But yeah, that's why that is there. That is why that is there. Actually, oh, I may know what's causing the issue. Although no, that wouldn't make sense, would it? No, that doesn't make sense. That is really strange. Might keep that in as a feature. Sometimes it just doesn't teleport the player. That's strange. Anyway, yeah, let me rechat. Oh right, the doors will also have the doorways around them. Oh right. It'll be alright then. Oh, so that it randomly generates the door and doorways. Yes, it randomly generates the door and doorways, but it doesn't procedurally generate them, and that's the difference. Random generation, even though both use randomness, it's a bit of a misnomer, but random generation is typically when a game chooses from a pre-made set of things and just puts them together in a random way. Procedural generation is if the game generates the content itself that it puts in the game. So, for example, in No Man's Sky, if you go to a planet, then that planet is procedurally generated. The devs didn't make a set of planets that the game is now putting together. Like, for example, the devs didn't make a sky, oh, this sky is green, and this planet has this ground texture, these rocks. The devs didn't do that. They programmed a formula, an algorithm, with which the game can procedurally generate its own assets to use in that way. The same way that the terrain in Minecraft works. In Minecraft, the terrain is procedurally generated because if there's a hill there or not depends on many different noise textures, noise maps, overlaid on top of each other, which the game generates as it goes, and then it will choose how the terrain looks. The devs didn't make that mountain. The devs didn't make the ocean. They just told the game how to make it. That's procedural generation. Random generation would be if the devs had made, say, 50 mountain models, and the game would randomly choose one to put in. That is the definition. Well, that is the way that those two terms are different from each other. At least the way that it's commonly used in game development. Don't really know why I talked about that. Interesting. All right, because of the thing. Oh, that's clever. Clever. Run, you clever boy, and remember me. Ew! The geometry! Merge the vertices! I'll leave it as is for now. When I get to actually decorating the stuff, making actual models for it, then all of that will change. Ghost Lady, if you hear this, what do you think of Sharadice's project called Ghostly Venture? From Sharadice's friend Chris. No, don't think she heard you. Maybe she's thinking, Sharadice, can't wait until the ambient sounds are in. Haha. By ambient sounds, do you mean stuff like wind, or do you mean just random sounds that are played, like, for example, footsteps or stuff like that? What do you mean by ambient sounds? Because there is a difference between the two. Sharadice, maybe the rooms will also feel differently when the ceiling is high up? Of course they will. Maybe do that next. I think I'll do the random generation, the generation next. Sharadice, will these dungeons also feature verticality? I don't know. I would like to do it. However, I mean, maybe. If I have a staircase room, and in that object that is placed is a script that then generates an entire new set of rooms below that at its local position, then I could do that. It's probably not going to be that hard, but I don't know if that is going to be good, because then what if there are multiple staircases going down? They would somehow have to merge, but what if... You can see it's a bit difficult. I don't know about that yet. Also, Ghost Lady, I think the game is based off you. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, your secret is safe with me. No, the game's not based off you. I promise you that. Right. You've got to be careful with those sort of things, because she's got quite a few secrets, and if you say something like that, then she could think that I'm making those things public, which I'm not doing. So, yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Sharadice, teleporting players without them knowing it since 2013. That's funny. XD. I agree. Very nice and clever. Galactic Cafe from Stanley Parable did it exactly like this as well, with the corner teleport. They use it quite a bit, yeah. It's a feature and not a bug. There are no bugs, only features. Exactly. Yep, I thought about posting that in chat too. Chooses from a plethora of things. Exactly. First time using that word. Oh, that's interesting. Things. Just kidding, it was plethora. Or plethora. Sharadice. Oh, that just makes me want to play No Man's Sky even more. Well. If you can and want it, go ahead. Sharadice. Are you sure the devs didn't create the ocean? Shaders, textures, etc.? Shaders, yes. They did create the shaders. Textures... I'm not sure how No Man's Sky does it, but I think No Man's Sky has an array of textures, in which case, yes, that is randomly generated, not procedurally. However, I think it has multiple patterns of or textures, which it then overlays in different ways to create new textures. However, I could be wrong about that, in which case it would be procedural. Leave me alone, I'm streaming right now. Leave off. Shadace, I meant things like wind. Yes, that will be very nice. Going through a forest and then suddenly boing. Well, with one of my previous attempts, it was quite literally like that, only it wasn't a forest, it was in a structure, which I won't do with this. Any sound you hear in this is going to be actually made by something. I won't have creepy sounds that are just there to be creepy. If you hear a creepy sound, that's because there is actually something creepy there, which I think just makes it so much more real to play. Ghost invades computer. You'll never get rid of me now. No. Turns off computer. Leave. Ghost flies out again. Now that was just plain mean. Evil snicker. Aha. That's the android in my computer. Are you sure? Are you sure? Android, isn't that a humanoid robot? I want to write an android book. Ooh, that would be nice. No, someone should really do a Shadow Dice Ghost Lady compilation. If you want to, go ahead. If anyone will, he will. Shadow Dice. Fun fact, Creeper was created by accident when the developers were making the pig model. Yeah, I know. Also, it wasn't developers, it was a single developer. Normal pig. Yeah, I know that. Imagine a game where everything is procedurally generated, and it's called Go Mental Boys. That seems like it would be interesting for a little while, but then it would get very boring, because the thing with procedural generation is that there is often no intent behind it. It's not structured. It lacks pace. Yes, a game can procedurally generate billions of maps for you, but after you've seen the first 10 or 20, they're all going to look kind of samey because there's no thread that leads through them. If you program a game to procedurally generate something but restrict it within parameters so that it will create a sense of cohesion, then it gets much better. For example, in Minecraft, the terrain doesn't just get completely randomly generated. That would just be every single block could either be an air block or a normal block, and then a random block from the list. That would be procedurally generated terrain. But, and with that, it could create billions of maps, actually more than that, and every single one would be different, but they would all look the same. So, the thing is, it's a fine balance to achieve between procedural generation and a catered experience, which random generation, where the game selects assets that were pre-made and puts them together randomly, is kind of in the middle of those. Because that allows a lot more control on the side of the dev, but it also has a lot of the randomness that makes it fun to explore. Minecraft has all sorts of secrets. Nice, hopefully. Shadows. So wind sounds will actually be made by wind sources which traverse the map. Wind sounds will be made by wind. The wind may not affect anything else except making the sound, but it will be created by wind. Yep, I know about that. Shadow Dice, yeah, exactly. An android in my... Hey, no, get back in there. We made a deal. I kept my side of it, you keep it too. Go Mental Boys, or Go Mental Boys. Oh, right, I see. Go, Mental Boys. XD. Shadow Dice, it would be basically a troll game. Letter, but first is the name of another game. I see. I thought so. I see. Never used the word catered before either. Really? Those are quite common words for me, I think. I'm watching the stream in my phone and playing Trains 12 on my laptop. Oh, well, that's very nice. I hope it's going well for you. Chris, enjoy them both, yes. But surely with procedural generation, it would eventually come up with one playable level. Yes, it would. If you have enough goes at randomly generated... that's the thing with the library. Or what is that library called? Hold on, I need to look this up. There is a very specific thing. 1 second. Just quickly look this up. What is it called? What is it called? Oh, where is it? Where is it? One second. I am going to look this up because this is bothering me a bit. What's it called? What is that called? That I don't know what it's called. Oh, of course. The Library of Babel. Of course. That's the short story, The Library of Babel. Which is actually very interesting. Yeah. So this is very, very interesting. I want to give you this link. And I want you to have a look at it. This is actually from a short story. But the idea is old. So I'll post the link and then I'll read chat. So the Library of Babel is an infinitely large library. It is an infinity of rooms which each have, I think it was 6 or 8 bookshelves and books on it. Every room has 4 doors, and on each side of it is another room exactly like it, and there's a spiral staircase in the middle. If you look up, there's an infinite array of books, of rooms that go up, an infinite array of books that rooms that go down. Each one has, I think it was 8 bookshelves in it, around it. Each one is filled to the brim with books. Each book contains a completely random set of characters. Completely random. But because there's an infinity of books, it means that every single thing that can ever be written is within this library. Every bit of knowledge, every story ever told is contained within the books of this library. Whether it's your life story, from birth to death, whether it is quantum physics, or whether it's just complete gibberish, or whether it's a dream you will have 2 days from now. In that library, there is a book, actually an infinite amount of books, which contain the exact events of your life, including you going into the library and reading the book, and it concludes with you dying. Simply because those characters were put together randomly in that way. Every bit of knowledge in the universe, every single thing that can ever possibly exist and can be written down, exists within this library. And that is the Library of Babel. There is a website which I linked to. It's libraryofbabel.info, which simulates this. Now, the Library of Babel doesn't actually have that many books. Of course, it couldn't, possibly. But you give it a number. You give it a hex code of which room you would like to go to. And then you select which bookshelf to choose a book from, and then you choose a book. When you choose a book, that book will be randomly generated based on the choices you've made. It will put together random characters, which means if you go to the same book again, it will generate the same book. This is procedural generation, which means that on that website is actually every single book that will ever be written. Everything. The library of Babel is there. If you go to that library, you put in the correct number of which room you're looking for, you go to the correct bookshelf, you choose the correct book, you could find a book that details your life story from beginning to end. And that's actually there. Yes. And that is basically the thing that you said about, where is it? Yeah, that's the thing that you said, that with procedural generation, it would eventually come up with one playable level. Yes, with procedural generation, it will come up with an infinity of playable levels, but the vast majority of them will be gibberish, like the vast majority of books in the Library of Babel. So, let me rechat. Wind is created by wind. In the game, yes. Wind as in the sound, wind as in the object named wind. XD, MSW. Wheeze. That's not an emote here. Say what? Shadow's Library of Alexandria? No. Shadow's Library of Alexandria? No. Snap. Damn it. That's at least 10 times. Eh? It'll come to him at the least convenient time. At least 10 times we've hit at the same ball. Yeah. Ah, yes. All right. Nice. It's funny. It is funny. Oh no, confused with Babbage. No, I'm not confused with the man who invented who in modern times invented the first mechanical computer with gears and stuff. It's actually very, very interesting if you look him up. I'm not sure what his first name is though. 10 times anniversary then? Sure. Who's got the cookies? You do. Babble, babble, babble. It's fun to say, isn't it? I'll bring the cherries. Take 'em. Yep, there's the link. Sure, thanks. Oh my, wow. Whoa. Wow. Oh, God. That's quite the library. How much is it? Sorry? 10 quid? Sure, I'll take it. Oh, don't have the space. Grr. It just looks like random generation. Is a lot of it gibberish? Yes, of course it is. Every book in the Library of Babel is randomly generated, but that's the point. Every book in the Library of Babel, every single character has been arbitrarily flung together, but because there's an infinite amount of books, that means that it's a thing with that a monkey with a typewriter will eventually write Shakespeare, even if the monkey just randomly types on keys, if given enough time. Yes. Will I find my bookies? I'm suing! Yikes. Someone should catalog the coherent stories of Babel. Yes, there is actually a story. I'm not sure if it's the story of the Library of Babel, might be a slightly separate one, where there are these scholars, thousands of them, who dedicate their entire lives to living in the Library of Babel, reading books, and making note of the ones that make sense. And they will never be finished, of course. Their work will never be finished, and some of them never find a single book that makes sense. Most of them don't, but some of them might. It's actually quite frightening if you think about it. Holy Hellfire is like Holy Hellfire. It's like an SCP. Even a book of how to bring back a scrapped locomotive. There would be a book in there of how to manufacture a locomotive atom by atom. Everything by the sound of it. Yeah, exactly. Charles Babbage. Yes. Should I Charles Babbage? Yup, bingo. Exactly. Snap. Baba boom. 11 times anniversary. Yeah, probably. Shadows. So every single possible combination of letters and punctuation marks. Yes, exactly. An example of a hex name. Hex name are just numbers. You can just type in a number. You can just type any number in there. I think letters also. I'm not sure though, but numbers definitely. Numbers work. I tested it with numbers. If you go to the link, you can just put in a number there. Sure. Well, actually, okay. I'm just going to do one test with this. So if we go to the Library of Babel, you can see here, you can browse, and here, yeah, 4 bookcases it was. Sorry, not 6. Yeah. So a hex name. Let's try one of those, 81429, okay? See, it generates us a bookshelf. We can click on one of these shelves here. Let's choose number 2. And you can choose one of the shelves here. Let's choose number 4. And you can see it generates random names for the books. So this one, for example, here is hn.ngqew. Click on this, and there we go. This is a single page of it. This will, right, this is anglicized. This basically, by the looks of it, filters out words that make sense. So in the random words that actually make sense. So for example, the yellow ones are ones that are not necessarily that. Yeah, it says down here. Just above. However, yeah. So the green ones aren't. No, the yellow ones aren't real, actual used words. Like, well, no, it doesn't. Oh, it's 3 characters. Right, that was it. I mistook it for a different thing. 3 characters above. So the green ones. So for example, this word here, RHOC. If I mouse over it, actually no, does it work? It used to work. Yeah, it gives different words for it down at the bottom. So so down here. So if I go over, here we go. Danny. It says Dan, Danny, Anne. Let's see. Boom. Boo, boom, and Those are the words that it found in there. You can see them. Mug. Hern. Chat. There we go. Chat. The book knew that we were reading chat. So you can see chat right there. Yeah? And this is just, you can bookmark it actually. If you found something, you can bookmark it. You can download the book. And you can go to another page. You can go to the next page. You can go to the next page. Yeah, and this book has 410 pages. So let's just go to book 410, to page 410. And you can see there are some things it's recognized as well. For example, halt. There you go, halt. Mums. There we go, mums. That's nice. And then when you're done reading one of the books, you can go back to Portal. Oh wait, well, the other key would have gone back, but you can go back to here. You can search for stuff. So we'll enter characters. So this is actually very interesting. So let's search for Kango Fango. Yeah? Then I'll search. And you can see it has found books where Kango Fango is mentioned. So if I click here, you can see in this book, which is over here, you can see that right here, Kango Fango is mentioned. You can see that? Kango Fango. You can see it's clear as day. Yeah, right there. So this is on page 366. I believe that this is, I'm not sure if this is the name of the book or the other one, but this one, yeah, this is where you're mentioned, one of the cases. You're also mentioned in this other book, which it's found. You can do more random ones. These ones, you're mentioned in all of these ones. Actually, so this book is titled Yilalksat Nzm. Yeah, you go here, and you can see Kango Fango is named right there. You can see Undergarments. Oh wait, are these all... Oh, are these all actual words? Oh, they are. That's strange. What? This may have something to do with how it generated. I don't know. I don't know exactly how this works. Or maybe it was just all of it. Maybe it's just chance. I don't know. Anyway, you can search for stuff here. Actually, is that always the case? Let's do runner. Let's search for that. If I go to this one... No, that's exact match. No, this one... Oh, right, of course. No, you can see... these are different. You can see one with random characters and one with random English words. That makes sense. One with random English words, that's the one I clicked. So it did generate this. Random characters, this is the one. You can see runner is here with random characters. That makes more sense. Oh, so that's interesting. So it can also generate ones made up of words, so you're more likely to get a story. That's interesting. You've got random, which, yeah, sure enough, gives you a random thing, a random book. And it's found these words in it. Hex reference. Oh, that's interesting. Image archives. That's not sure what that is. Oh, Library of Babel images. Not sure what that is exactly. But there we go. Anyway, there you are. That is it. Oh, that's taken longer than I thought it would. Right. Let's try this. So before the an example of a hex name? 814929. Good grief, that's quite a feat of activity catalog down. There's another one. Oh, right. Only with F. I see. Oh, this is nerdily awesome. Exactly. Whoa, yay. How did the person do it? Well, the one who... It's just algorithms. That's all it is. It's just algorithms. When you search for a word, it basically, because computers are so fast, it generates a thing, checks it for the word, then it generates another thing, checks it for the word. It generates again and again and again and again and again and again with different random seeds. A seed is basically only where a random number starts from until it finds what you're searching for, and then it shows you the hex code and derives the name of the book from it, which is the exact same thing you would find if you went to the correct shelf and looked in the shelf, picked out the correct book, looked at it. It only goes through a lot of them, basically. At least that's how I think they do it. Search in that site how to bring back a locomotive. If only that worked. Whoa. By this art you may contemplate the variation of the 23 letters. Yeah, exactly. Yay! We're in the book! Back to the game dev now? Hopefully. Nice that you can see the page so many times. Because of OBS. Yeah, I see. Mum's in the Library of Babel. Oh my. Wow. Yeah. Whoop whoop. No. What? No! Haha. You do know that everyone is going to type their names, don't you? Of course they are. Way! No way! One of them is named after me. The book. Rocketry. Sure. Oh my, wow. Bookmark that page. You can find it again. You can just search it and then it'll find it. Why did it put me in there then? Right, damn now. Yes. Do it. Oh, it's gone now. All those words. there are some with just a single entry. I typed my name in, and it was the only thing on the page. No, you typed the first one. That's the thing. Okay. If you look here, if you want to search, if I type something like, for example, Ghostly Venture, do search, you can see the first one is an exact match. Yeah? The second one is one with random characters. The third one is one with random English words. If you click here, this is the mistake I made, it will show you more matches in this category. So if I click here with random characters, show more, then these are all books that contain this with random characters. So this one, for example, which is called Ratha. You can see here is random characters. It's Ghostly Venture, right there, Ghostly Venture. In the book, what was it called? Book is Koma Ratna. There we go, page 105. So that's why it was. You picked the one exact match, and of course it only found the one with the exact match, which was only that. Shadows might want to split the streams in post-processing, put the second half in a new series called Library of Babel Live, episode 000, how many zeros? That is 1. I'm not going to read all of those because that would be very annoying. Oh my, wow, I feel ill. There are some books with just one word or phrase in it. Ah, my bad. So much data. Exactly. Library of Babel is in the Library of Babel. Of course it is. I mean, it contains everything, doesn't it? Right. So, what were we doing before the Library of Babel? Well, I can just look in the Library of Babel. Surely it'll have a book that has it. No. I was only joking. Right. Random generation, that's what I wanted. So, let's Ghostly Venture! Of course, let's. So, I want to... I need to round this. Like that. Yes, that is good. Right, so let's create an empty game object, which will be the generator. So let's do... Right. Oh, that's named the wrong thing. I need to rename that. Let's name it Maze Generator. Is that how you... That seems right. Oh, no, it seems wrong. Why? No, that is right, surely. Is that correct? Apparently it is. Looks odd. Anyway, right. So, Maze Generator. I need to give this the right position. So actually, I'll make it a child object of this one. Then I'll put it out again. So now it is at the correct position, which is 101 negative. Well, let's do this. Well, it doesn't matter, I suppose. This is okay. This is the position. This is the position of the generator. So I need to make a prefab of these rooms. So let's create a new prefab. Let's name this one Room Large 1. Let's delete this object and let's put this one in as a child object. There we go. Let's reset. Actually, no, I need to disable the plane on this one. Right, and let's reset the position, and let's make this into a prefab. So if I go into prefabs, let's do mazes, and mazes, and let's do another folder, and let's make this as a prefab. So there we go, we've got the prefab down here in the bottom right corner. And let's read, chat. Yes, let's ghost. I see. Web surfing on the Library of Babel. Exactly. Or the Baal. Gahaha. I'm going to clear out my head of data. Be right back. My attempt at recreating the library. Anyways, be right back. The funny thing is that what you just typed, that AHIPF whatever, is actually a word in the Library of Babel. You did manage to recreate part of it. You did. That's the brilliance of it. 10 of 10 recreation. Literally. Yeah. So, let's see if we can get some basic generation down. Right. Let's create a new let's create a new script. Let's call it maze generator. Let's put this onto the maze generator object. Well, once it's done compiling. There we go. It's on here. I need to quit Sublime Text and open it back up again. Otherwise, it would open up two versions of it. And let's create the tile set, so to say. So, a public enum tile sets. And let's do back. Welcome back. Right, your recreation of it, that word, is literally in the Library of Alexandria. It's there. You've recreated part of it. Word for word, character for character. Let's do... What do you say about my creation of Babel? I just repeated it. That recreation is... That word is in the Library of Alexandria. Not Alexandria. Well, maybe too, but I meant Babel. If you search for it, you'll find it. So you did actually recreate part of it, character for character. Welcome back, Hawk. Sure. Right, let's do tile set. Sure. And then let's do public tile sets, tile set. Right. Whoop, whoop. Oop. Great. And then let's go in start, void start. At void start, and then let's, well, no, we need an array. So let's do, well, after the tile set, let's do a header, which is a bit of text that's displayed in the inspector. Header, let's do let's do room prefabs. Prefab stands for prefabrication. By the way, let's do an array. So public transform, and let's do an array, and let's do it Roman. Well, let's do Roman room set. Right? No, we need Roman room set. Well, no, let's do Roman large room set. And then in void start, we need to flip a coin, whether it's whether it's a large room or a small room. So let's do if random, not Roman, random dot range 0 and 2, because it's exclusive. If it's an integer, it's exclusive, which means that in this case 0 to 2 actually goes 0 or 1. So it's basically the last number minus 1 if it's an integer, a full number without a decimal point. And then if random range is equal to that, the result of this is equal to 0. We'll do a large room. So let's do print large, else. Let's do print small. Does this throw up an error? Apparently not. Good. Right. Let's see what it says over here. Play, small, large, small, small, large. Yep, that's good. It works. Right. So, for the purpose of this, let's just make it so it always returns large. So let's do set back to 0, 2. So let's do 0 and 1. So this case, minimum value 0, maximum value 1, exclusive, which means 0, so it's always going to return 0, which means it's always going to go into large. So let's spawn a room. How to best do this? Because this is an interesting thing. We could either make it so that the rooms are generated as we go, so kind of like a marching squares thing. So it generates a room, and then it chooses one of the open sides, and then generates a room there, then chooses one of the open sides, checks if there's a room there, places a room there, and so on. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it would be via a texture, so that it creates a new texture and then sets the pixels, so that it basically creates a new black texture, and then each pixel is a space for a room. So then it begins by, it chooses just any space. It makes the black pixel white. That means there's a room there. Then from that, it saves the position. And then from that position, it chooses to go either up, down, left, or right. Well, then it checks whether that is a valid position. Like, for example, I could make a red pixel, which means there can't be any room there. And then it checks if it's a valid position, so if a black pixel or a white pixel, and then it goes in that direction, changes its coordinates in that direction, changes that pixel to white. And then it does it again. It chooses a random direction, checks if it can move there, chooses a white pixel. This would have the benefit, basically, after it's generated all the white pixels, I can have a counter going how many rooms I want, and then each time it makes a new white pixel, it increases the room count by 1. So that would have the benefit that it's much, much easier to not overlap rooms. So that, because with the way of actually placing down a room and then going into a direction, then placing down another room there, which is the more straightforward way of doing it, it can get a bit complicated to check if there's already a room there, because with that way you could place a room there, then place a room there, then place a room there, and then loop back on yourself, and then you'd have to, probably with raycasts, check if there is a room there. If not, then place a room there, which is interesting, but it is quite limiting and quite messy, I think. I think I'm going to do a texture, because with a texture, basically it would just, after it's finished making the texture, it will scan through it line by line, and every time it finds a white pixel, it will translate the pixel coordinates on the texture to actual spatial coordinates and place a room there. this means that if on the texture the white pixel loops back on itself, it just creates an intersection, which actually means that I can check more easily what the surrounding rooms are like, which means that it's going to be easier to generate rooms that have branching pathways in a specific direction. Because with the way that I did before with my previous attempts at Ghostly Venture was the first way, which was just place a room, then place another room, and check if there are rooms there. I mean, it did work well for the time, but it does mean that every room I placed there had to have corridors or access ways going into all 4 directions. Because if there was a room placed here, and then one there, and then one there, if it tried to loop back around to itself, then it couldn't connect otherwise. Because this room would not have known there's a room there, so it would have made it smooth without a doorway, and then this one couldn't connect. If I do it via a texture, I could check what rooms are around it before I place it, which means I could check the correct one. Which means that if I do it like this, which I do think I will, this is not correct. It would be Roman large room. Let's just do north. Let's go clockwise. So now northeast, southwest set. Actually, let's do it with underscores. That makes it easier. Yes, which means that this room, this is a set. This is an array. This variable is going to contain all of the different prefabs of Roman large rooms which have connections to the north, east, south, and west. Which means that I won't be able to actually generate it like I was beginning to do here. Which means that, yeah, that means that I will have to do the texture generation code first, which will probably involve a lot of fiddling around, so I'll probably do the majority of that off stream. But let's just... that wouldn't work really because I need a position of that. Actually, we've only got 4 minutes left. That's perfect timing. Okay, we figured out what to do next with the rooms and how that's going to work. We've looked at the Library of Babel, which is nice. So now I just want to get a good thumbnail really. Now, oh right, the room is not there. Need to undo that. There we go. As for the thumbnail, let's do it like this. That's a good thumbnail, isn't it? I think that's a good thumbnail. So let me read chat. Whoop whoop. Ooh, Roman. Haha. Poo poo. Poo poo. Owup. Powo. Imagine typing in a short story into the library and then publishing it as your own. Well, that's the thing. To find anything of cohesion, you need to type it in to find it, which means that you've already had to go to the trouble of typing it. So you haven't really learned anything new from the library, which is the thing with it. Whoppo whoppo. Oh whoppo, oh whoppo whoppo. Oh whoppo. Roman. XD, that too, probs. Probably. The Roman. What does it mean to roam? Yes, these people are roaming. Not roaming, mind, roaming. Ooh, texture. And I'll actually just redo. Actually, can I redo those changes? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This, as long as this still has the script, it doesn't. That's okay, because I did it accidentally. Let's do maze generator on here again. That's fine. The prefab is still there, correct? Yes, but I need to change this. So I'll need to create a new folder here and do this. Call this large. Then inside large, create a folder called northeast southwest. And then do this, put this in there. Well, no, put this in there. Let's rename it to actually, let's abbreviate this. Let's do Roman room large northeast southwest 1. There we go. That makes it much better. So I'll quit Unity. Don't worry, I'll still read the rest of chat. I haven't forgotten you. Actually, one second, I need to open the... Oh no, we're not offline yet. Just paused for 1 second. I need to open the window a bit more because it is quite warm in here. Right. I think that air is fresh. Right. I'm going back to the ready screen. There we go. Ooh, texture, yes. Exclamation mark, comma, ... Pity you can't just send a dot in a message. Full stop. There you go. Oh, thanks. Good. Let's go with texture, shared ice. 512 by 512? Probably not. Mostly because of lag reasons. Well, other reasons as well. But the thing is, a 512 by 512 texture would mean that there are 512 by 512 rooms. What is that? 512 times 512. So yes, there would be potential for 262,144 rooms on that texture. Unless I do it with a room count, in which case it wouldn't really matter because it would stop after it's placed enough rooms. So I probably would actually do it by 512 by 512. So yeah, you're probably right actually. We're just not going to have that many rooms probably. Although if I could find a way of placing the rooms down, generate them as you explored, then maybe I could have that many rooms. But then it would lag the more you explore. Sure is. So there won't be dead ends that are next to an existing corridor. That would only be intersections. There would, if it is right next to one, then yes, it would be an intersection. But maybe I can. It depends on the room. I could just put in rooms that just then don't have a door on that side, in which case there wouldn't be one. But then the other room would have one, but it would be half of a corridor. So no, so to have dead ends, you would need to find a room that is not exactly touching a different room pixel, basically. Yes. There's Z fighting at the door of the doorway there. Yes, I know. I saw it too. It doesn't matter at the moment. XD. Yeah. Damn. You could search endlessly through it, I guess. Yeah. Basically. Although with a computer, there is a limit to how long a number can be. So technically, you can't search endlessly, but it would take you longer than the universe will exist for to reach the limit, probably. People were roaming, not are. But well. Okay, doesn't matter. If you've got an endless supply of time, sure. And if you haven't got anything more interesting to do. How long would it take one to search through the entire library? I would say it would take longer than the universe has time to exist. Because if you think, the way this works is with the hex code. The hex code, it's iterations. The hex code is probably an integer. So it's probably, 32 characters. So the integer, the hex code for which room you go to in the library. Okay, so we start with the first character of the hex code. The first character can be a number between 1 and 0 or any of the English alphabetical letters. So you've got this many different rooms already with the first character. And then you times that by the amount of the second character, because the second character has the same amount of characters, but the combinations can be different. So any one of the characters in the first character slot, of the first character of the hex code, can be in any combination with any letter from the second. And then you add the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and so on until you reach the integer limit. It's probably limited to the integer limit, which is like 32 characters, I think. 32 or 64. There are two different kinds. Probably 32. So you've got 32 characters, each one of which can be any of the numbers and any of the English alphabetical characters, and can exist in any combination with any of the other character slots, which also have that. So you've got this immense number of different hex codes, of different rooms in the library. To go through all of those would take you a long, long, long time. And then, on top of that, each one of those combinations represents an entire room. So that's 4 bookshelves. Each one of those bookshelves has, I think, 5 different shelves in it. So then that is, each one of those characters equals to 20 shelves. Yes, 20 shelves. And each one of those shelves, had like 20 books in it? Or something like that? So then you've got 400 books. If I right, 20? Yeah, 20 times 20, of course, 400. So each room has 400 books in it. Which means that the number of different combinations you've got in that hex code times that, not twice, but 400. Yeah? That is how many books you have. And then each book has a couple of hundred pages, and each of those pages, so you times the number of books you have times the number of pages, and that's how many individual pages you can read in the library. And that is only the way that the program works. That is the website. The actual Library of Babel, by that I don't mean the real one, I mean the imaginary one, is infinite. It does not have that 32 character limit of the integer. That number that has the characters that can be the numbers, letters, the combination isn't limited to 32, but is infinite. Yeah? So the actual imaginary Library of Babel, you would literally have infinite things to read. If you had infinite time to read it in, you would still never finish because there can't be a last book. If there's an infinite amount of them, you will just keep on reading for eternity. You will never finish. Even with an infinite amount of time, you will never reach the end. And that is why I said that if you wanted to read all of the books in the Library of Babel, the website, the Library of Babel, it would take you longer. It would probably, just a guess, just an educated guess, it would probably take you longer than the universe will exist for. It will take you trillions of years. At least that's my guess. That is my guess. So, let's read chat. How long will it take? Oh, right, over here. That warm. Warm? Yeah, the heating's on because upstairs is quite cool. Yeah. 64 by 64 texture, 30 by 32, 60 by 16, 80 by 8 by 8, 4 by 4, 2 by 2, 1 by 1, 0.5 by 0.5? That's probably the one I'll go for 0.5 by 0.5, yes. Dude. Or 128 by 128. How did you work that out so quickly without help? 256, 256. Well, it's not that difficult, and by the way, it's easy to memorize. I mean, oh, I'm right. What is this? Nice. Mostly 2048, the game. Yeah, it's a game where you push tiles around, and if they bump into tiles that are the same value, they add together. So, which means they multiply by themselves. So yeah, that's good. XD, this. My brain hurts. Help. Oh, come here, Strokes. Oh. Wow. Just wow. Yeah, exactly. These type of things, if you think about them, you can't even comprehend how immense these things are. It's like if you try to imagine the size, the distance between us and the closest star. Sure, you know, it's a couple of light years, but that doesn't convey the actual sheer scale of it. I find these sorts of things very, very fun. Yep. So it's the library foremost, a fictional hypothetical concept. Yes, the Library of Babel originates in a story of the same name. I'm sure you can read it online if you would like to. Wow. I sentence you to reading 600 books from the Library of Babel. Wow. Oh, yeah, they'll all be gibberish. I can almost guarantee they'll all be gibberish. If you think about them, your brain explodes if you are an inferior life form. Well, then there's no chance of that happening with us. But just to be sure, don't think about it. Don't. W. Out loud. You missed a bit. Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Oh, sounds like a decent torture method. Oh, I see. Sounds like a decent torture method. Well, yeah. If there is such a thing as a decent torture method. Anyway, so unless I've missed something else, I don't think I have. Okay, with that, we've gone 11 minutes over time. Sorry. XJK6FABPT collapses. Oh, because you thought about it. Oh, I see. I'm sure you'll recover. Right. It would be especially boring. Yeah, you're right. It would be. But at least you've got plenty to read. Bye. Thank you for the entertaining stream. Like, cosmically boring. Yeah, it would be. Although, I suppose you could try to entertain yourself by trying to scan the text for words that actually make sense. Not especially. Oh, epically! Of course, epically boring. It would be epically boring. Not especially. Bye, and see you tomorrow. Bye, indeed. Yes, see you tomorrow for trains. So, thank you all very much for watching. This stream will be archived on YouTube, as they always are, if I can download them, that is. And, yes, shoutouts. Kango Fango does wonderful map building stuff in OMSI 2 and trains. He also drives an American Truck Simulator, Extreme Trucker 2, that sort of thing, on Twitch live. Slovak Eagle, who, if his internet holds out, which at the moment it's very much not, also live streams, trains, driving games, that sort of thing. Yes. So, this time I'm doing a bit of a shorter shout out because we've already gone much over time. So, yeah, have a look at those people. If you want a more extended shout out, have a look at some of the other streams. Anyway, indeed, thanks for shout out. Also, Mr. W. The thing. Did you get my email? Did you get my email? The email I sent about the roleplay group. Did you get it? Because I'm not sure that I don't think I've received a response from you. Anyway, that's beside the point. I'll sort that out later. Sorry, that's not something that I need to detain you with. Right. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope it was helpful. And goodbye.